I just wanted to thank you all for being a part of this call. And because I am relatively new, I brought on my friend Henry, and he is going to take over for me right now.
Cool. Thanks, Diane. Thanks for taking the time to jump on here tonight. I know that just like pretty much anyone in these days, there's many things that you could have chosen to do, and you chose to be here with us tonight and to invest in yourself. So just appreciate you, and I just want to show gratitude for you investing in you tonight. As Diane said, she and I have been partnered together to inspire healthy living around the world, and we do so through a couple different tools. And before we jump into that, just wanted to share a little bit of background about me, because you're probably wondering, who is this guy with all these like different pictures of fruits and vegetables behind him? So my journey started in the classroom. I was a classroom teacher here in Dublin, if any of you guys know where that is. I taught human anatomy and physiology, biologies, chemistries for the better part of about 15 years here, after completing my microbiology degree at Ohio State. And every year I used to teach things like you are what you eat. And just show of hands, how many of you have ever heard that phrase before? You are what you eat. Yeah. So it looks like everyone's heard of that before. In fact, you've probably used that phrase at some point in your life. And the fact is, while I was teaching it for almost 15 years, I really wasn't living it. I didn't believe it. What I was taught in school was that there were certain vitamins that you would take, and as long as you eat your vitamins, then you should be healthy. But that just wasn't the case. I mean, still got sick, and I was faced with a lot of inflammation throughout my 20s and 30s, acne all over the place. And when I learned about what you see in the back here, the power of plants, then my inflammation disappeared. I got off all my medication. My acne scars disappeared. And I couldn't help but to share it with other people, because I had a lot of other friends who were facing inflammation, early arthritis, from being in the marching band at Ohio State, snowboarding, volleyball players. And when I started shifting my diet and jumpstarting my health into actually paying attention to what I put in my mouth, then I realized that there was a correlation between what I ate and my energy, my quality of sleep, like I said, inflammation started going down. And once I started sharing it with other people, the longer I took it consistently, and took it seriously, then I started seeing more and more results. Started seeing it in my memory. Started seeing results in my attention span. And what I learned from the research, which I'll share with you in a little bit, is all of these results are actually clinically proven. At first, I wasn't ready to hear it, because I thought, essential oils and all that kind of stuff is kind of woo-woo, right? But actually experiencing the transformation, I couldn't help but to look into the research. And this is the only thing that I saw that stood out amongst all the confusing health stuff out there, that had research against cancer, against Alzheimer's and dementia, against skin diseases. And so I looked more and more into it. And now I just share it with everyone. My hope and dream is that my future kids will not have to worry about all the chronic disease out there, because they understand the concept of you are what you eat. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and share about some simple tools that are going to empower you into experiencing the same thing that has helped thousands, hundreds of thousands of people around the world. And in order to do so, I'm going to share my screen. All right, so give me a quick thumbs up if you can see my screen. Just want to make sure everything's working properly. Okay, good. All right, I'm going to put this little bar down here so it doesn't distract everyone. And feel free at any point, if you have a certain question, or if you want to, make a little comment, you can either comment in the chat there, or you can just throw out the question, and I'll try to answer those as we go along here. But I'm going to try to keep this down to about 15, 20 minutes. and Diane's going to share a little bit as well. So the company that we have partnered with is called Juice Plus. It's a global functional food company. It's very similar to the Jetsons. Anyone ever heard of the Jetsons before? Back in the 1950 film, George Jetson would go up to a vending machine, hit the button, and a little capsule would come out. And in that capsule would turn into a full meal. Well, that used to be science fiction. Now it is actually science present. The reason why we got into this is because if you look at the world, we are one of the sickest countries. We produce the most pharmaceuticals, we consume the most medicine, and we are still the sickest country. And this just shows you a few statistics about heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and obesity that we face in this world. And we wonder why. And it really comes down to poor diet. And so there's a couple different reasons why this matters to us. One, there's all sorts of environmental toxins that are flooding our systems through waterways, through runoff, through pollution. And so we have to do something in order to combat all of this stress that is hitting our bodies through environmental toxins. And you can say, oh, well, just eat more healthy foods. Well, the truth is the food quality, especially here in the US, has drastically decreased. You can see any of these terms that might ring a bell. Preservatives are in everything now. Flavor enhancers. You can't even trust what the word natural means. Emulsifiers, synthetic vitamins. That means man-made mimicry of what God actually put on this planet. Things have tons of hormones and artificial fillers and colors and sweeteners. And so by the time the food gets to your grocery store, it's traveled thousands of miles. And then it goes to your counter and it sits for how long trying to ripen because they picked it 2 or 3 weeks before it actually ripened. And so you can see here, there's a study that was done on broccoli. This same study has been done on peppers, that most of the food that we see on the produce shelves in the grocery store has lost 50 to 80% of its nutrients before you even buy it. And so the food that was harvested and eaten in our backyards, a century ago is not the same quality of food that we see on the grocery stores today. And so it might kind of come as a shock, but we need about 7 to 13 servings of fist-size fruits and vegetables every single day because of the nutrient depletion of all those fruits and vegetables. And because of all the different oxidation that comes from the different chemicals and herbicides and pesticides that are elating our food. And so what's the key? Here's one of the keys. We try to look at things that are safety, the highest quality of safety. It's even better than organic. We call this NSF certified. NSF certified is a third party that comes in, and they don't just test the fields. They test the actual products themselves. They test the farmers. They come in unannounced 6 times a year to make sure that everything on a food label is actually in the product. And if it doesn't match, then you're required by NSF certification to throw out the entire batch. And so we have capsules, we have chewables, we have shakes that are all the highest quality of safety here in the US. And this is the first. So this is what I was introduced of all things through eHarmony, a girl that I met in DC. She introduced to me these capsules and these gummies. And she didn't tell me about any of the research. She just told me it's fruits and vegetables. It's JP. It's just plants. And by looking at the labels, you can see it's a whole food. It is not just, again, organic certified. It is NSF certified, even higher standard. And it's all plant-based, completely vegan. So it combats inflammation because things that are of meat or meat products cause inflammation, where things of plants combat inflammation. So before I go any further with this, I'm going to turn it over to Diane so she can share a little bit about these.
So
about a year ago, I was looking for, I was going to start juicing because most of you know that I have CLL, which is chronic lymphocytic leukemia. And one of the things that I had started doing some research, and they said that juicing is a really good way to get a lot of the nutrients that I needed. So Henry was nice enough to call me and told me that he could teach me how to juice, or I could just take all the fruits and vegetables and powdered for them in capsules. Well, you guys all know me, and you all know that I probably would have juiced maybe 1 or 2 days before I gave it up. So taking these capsules was definitely the way for me to go. So he ordered them for me and I started taking them. And then about a year later, because I wasn't getting sick like so many of the people that I knew were, and because I just had lots of other really good benefits as well, like sleeping better, just a lot more energy, I decided that I wanted to start introducing these to other people. So I told Henry, and now we are working together. And you guys probably can't see me very well. I just noticed that the light's not real good. Anyway, so that is basically my story.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Diane, for sharing. And this is exactly what you see here, down to the very bottom. A lot of people have this misconception that, you should look at the nutrition label or the supplement label to see how much vitamin A or vitamin C, etc. And that's helpful, but even really more helpful, and we need to train our brains into converting into this, is reading the ingredient list. And so this is the exact ingredients that you can find in the fruit blend, is what we call. You can find cherries. That is the source of vitamin C. Oranges is vitamin C. And the reason why lemon peel, like the peel itself, is pointed out here is because, sure, some of us eat apples, oranges, and bananas. And we are creatures of habit. So those are the three big ones that we hear about from a lot of people. But even in an orange, for instance, 80% of the nutrients in an orange are actually contained in the peel. And I don't know about you guys, but I usually throw away the peel. And so this is the reason why many people say this is even better than the fresh food itself, is because it contains all of the nutrients from the entire fruit and the entire vegetable, the kale, the broccoli, the parsley, the cabbage. And we take all those antioxidants from all of these berries. Elderberries, super great for your immune system. Bilberries, blackberries. I don't even know where to get bilberries, and it's a pain in the butt to cut up pomegranate. But I know that by eating this on a daily basis, this dehydrated fruit without the sugar, I'm getting what the nutrients I was designed to actually get. We say it bridges the gap of what we should eat and what we actually do eat. On this next slide, you'll see that this is our mission. Our mission is really to make it easy, as simple as possible, for people to get the nutrients that their bodies were actually designed to thrive on. And when you flood the cells at the tissue level with all of these nutrients, things start turning on. You start feeling younger. You actually, there's genetic evidence to show that within the DNA inside of your cells, it will extend the lifespan of the DNA itself. It will turn on and off certain genes that control cancer inside of the cells. It will rehydrate the thickness of the skin by 39%. All this, again, is clinically proven. And if capsules aren't your gig, then chewables are a viable option as well. So you can see the fruit, veggie, berry also come in chewable form. This was originally designed for children, but I'll be honest, I eat these chewables as well. I keep them in my car, and I just pop them in whenever I get in my car. They're a healthy snack. Instead of reaching for the Pringles or the chips and candy, these are super tasty, and it's all just plants. You saw the fourth capsule on there, besides the fruits, veggies, and berries, was something called omegas. And omegas are quickly becoming not just the new fad, but the flagship of a lot of nutrients out there, because every single cell in the human body depends and is surrounded by these omegas. These omegas, you've probably heard of omegas before in the context of like salmon. I eat fish, or I eat capsules of fish oil. Well, why do people out there eat a bunch of fish oil? I mean, it sounds disgusting to me, right? But they understand the function of this food. They understand that it helps with heart health, reducing the inflammation in your arteries. It supports your vision. All of the conjunctiva in the inside of your eyelids, it secretes all the oils to lubricate your eyes. Your brain function, 80% of your brain by weight is made of healthy cholesterols and oils and fats. And so this is what it is. When you surround and you replenish and you reinforce all of that brain tissue, all of the arteries, all of the cells themselves, then you can see just eons of results. And because this is all vegan, this is not fish oil. We actually skip the middle fish, go straight to the source of the omegas that the fish is eating. Because at the end of the day, the fish don't make their omegas. They have to get it from somewhere. So we get it from the algae. We get it from pomegranate seeds, raspberry seeds. And all those 6 sources give you the full spectrum of omegas 3, 5, 6, 7s, and 9s that are designed for the human body. This is actually absorbed into the body twice as much, and it has twice the effect of any triple filtered fish omegas that exist on the market now. So we pride ourselves in knowing that this is actually helping your body instead of hurting it. You might be asking, how is it made, right? Because as we referred to the Jetsons before, how do you fit an apple, a full pear, or a pomegranate down into a size of a capsule? Well, we partner with all these family farms. What we do is we dry all of the pulverized fruits at low temperatures. That means that we can wait till it's fully ripened, and then we grind it up and dehydrate it. Because it's dehydrated at frozen temperatures on a conveyor belt, then the sugar will crystallize instead of caramelize. And because it's crystallized, we can sweep off the sugar. So literally, inside of each of these capsules that you see behind me, that contains the full orange minus the water and minus the sugar. So it is tremendously good for diabetics. They can't eat, all these fruits and vegetables because of the sugar content. It is phenomenal. We see phenomenal results in cancer patients because cancer thrives off of sugar. Well, here you get the whole fruit, the whole vegetables, minus the water and the sugar. And it's all clinically researched. We researched this on military. We researched it on obese students, on law students that are going through their Harvard exams. We look at all of the benefits that are tested against gold standard clinical research. That means that it is double blind, placebo tested at medical universities all over the world. And so over 20 medical universities, including, some of these might sound familiar. You have Yale University, MD Anderson Cancer Hospital. You're looking at like other countries in Italy, in Tokyo, Toronto, Amsterdam. They all study the actual Juice Plus capsules, not extractive blueberries have shown to do this. That is indirect research. This is actually direct research. We know that by eating all these capsules on a consistent basis, and the longer you're consistent on it, then you'll see the absorption rate, bioavailability, the heart health. It reduces all sorts of risk factors that are involved in heart attacks and strokes. In fact, here in Columbus, we have a cardiologist by the name of Eric Goulder at the Heart Attack and Stroke Prevention Center. It's over here in Worthington. He guarantees that you will not have a heart attack or ischemic stroke if you follow his protocol, and Juice Plus is part of his protocol. Your immune system, we've tested again on the highest levels. These are the Navy SEALs of Austria, called the Cobras. And so they were told what to eat, when to exercise, how many push-ups to do, what time of day to do those. And that showed that double-blind placebo over the course of 4 months of eating Juice Plus, they showed that these top ranked, like Navy SEALs, military police is what their rank is, that they missed less days of duty. They were sick less often. And then when they did get sick, they recovered faster. And so regardless whether you're in the military, right? I'm not in the military, but I know if it's good for them, it's good for me. We could go on and on, but I just want to point out a few of these. DNA. This is the part that it shows 1,600 genes in every single one of your cells are turned on and off, many of which are oncode suppressors. So it combats all of those chronic disease. Healthy skin, inflammation, which is the root cause of all chronic disease, all the way down to the omega index. And this is one of my favorites, the cognitive function. Literally makes you smarter. When you eat Juice Plus, then your cognitive executive functioning is faster, your working memory is longer, and your attention span is more focused. And who doesn't want more memory or longer memory, focused attention span, and faster processing speeds, right? That's everyone. The last thing I want to share with you about the capsules and the gummies is this is a study that has been done to over 1.5 million families have been given Juice Plus for free around the US, with a parent order, or really any adult. It doesn't even have to be your own kid. Your kid can now receive Juice Plus for free, fruits and vegetables, until they are age 26, which is one of the best deals out there. And after a year of eating Juice Plus, these are the results that parents report. 61% of their kids are eating more fruits and vegetables. They are craving more natural foods. They are eating less fast foods and soft drinks. They are visiting the doctor less because they're eating and dependent on less over-the-counter and prescription drugs. They're missing less days of school, which means you're missing less days of work. And so the list goes on and on. And so again, kids eat fruits and vegetables for free all the way until their 26th birthday. There's a couple shakes, and one of the shakes that we have is a quick meal. It's a quick breakfast. I throw this into either soy milk, almond milk, even lemonade, and it is 17 plants. Again, JP, just plants, plus mushrooms. So there are certain drinks out there like Ensure that I used to think, oh, well, if I drink an Ensure, I'm getting all the vitamins that I need. One, Ensure is dairy-based, so it causes inflammation. Two, Ensure also has a ton of ground out, pharmaceutical grade, man mimicry of vitamins. So they're not even coming from natural sources. And if you look at the back, you'll see that it only has about 20 vitamins and minerals versus the tens of thousands of vitamins and minerals that you find in any of the Juice Plus products, because it's whole food. And same thing with the protein powder. The protein powder, the berry flavored fruit fusion is what it's called. Perform is actually one of the highlights at the USPC, the United States Performance Center, the nation's largest national team and Olympic team training facility down in South Carolina. And so they actually have a Juice Plus fueling station for all the Olympians, and they are required to go through a plant nutrition course now. So you'll be hearing about that as the Olympics approach. And the last thing here besides all the Juice Plus essentials, is something called a tower garden. A tower garden is a way to grow all your fresh fruits and vegetables in the conveniency of your living room. And so I have two of these. I have one in my living room, I have one in my bedroom, and you can see there's Swiss chard, tomatoes, cucumbers, zucchinis, pumpkins. You can grow all your herbs, and instead of having to go to the grocery store to get a little, package of green onions that you're only going to use a little bit of, then why not grow all your greens, pass the salad bowl down the table, and get fresh tower to table ingredients from your living room. And so that's who we are. We are customer based. We are in the business of inspiring healthy living around the world, empowering people with simple tools. We call it the easy button of nutrition. We are a global business. We are in 28 countries now since 1970. And so this is not our first time around the block. We just launched, I think, Czech Republic not more than 6 months ago. And so the Austrian market, the Australian market, the European market is growing like crazy because they understand the secret is not in medicine. Medicine should be in the food. And so I'll leave you with this. If any of this resonates with you, there is an opportunity of sharing it, just like Diane and I have been. Just like a good movie or a good restaurant, if there's something that makes sense to me, that I know is going to help other people, I can't help but to share it with others. And some of the benefits of being part of the business is not only you're part of your own boss, you just dictate your own schedule, but you get all the logos, you get all the social media, you can connect with whoever you want. You're not forced to work with whomever you don't want to work with. And at the top levels, you get college reimbursement, you get full benefits, including dental, vision, chiropractic, long-term disability, and all the health insurance as well. And so with that being said, there's three things, three choices that you can make. One, if you haven't already added Juice Plus to your regimen, then you can learn more. You can ask Diane and myself some questions. There are over 78,000 people in our company around the world, and you can make that first step. So maybe that's you. Or maybe number two, you heard all this information tonight and you thought of a couple people, maybe 2 or 3 other people that could benefit from hearing this information. And if that's the case, then you might want to consider becoming an affiliate with us. And then you can share it with others, or you can have us help you share it with others. And then you end up getting some cash back on that. That's the affiliate program. Or number 3, eventually, at any point, if you want to transition into this for a supplemental reoccurring income, that is also an option. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead and stop my screen share. And that was a lot of information. So I'm going to turn it over to you guys to ask any questions.